Hi everyone, welcome to this detailed guide on the TOEFL IBT test, your gateway to studying abroad by Susmita Suresh Yadav, your go-to trainer for TOEFL, IELTS and PTE. The TOEFL IBT test measures how well you can communicate in an academic setting using English. In this video, we will break down the test format, explore each section of it, and share some strategies to help you succeed. So grab a notebook and let's dive in. Now, what is the TOEFL IBT? TOEFL IBT is the test of English as a foreign language, internet based test. Now, the TOEFL IBT test evaluates your English proficiency across four key skills, that is namely reading, listening, speaking and writing. The total test time is just under 2 hours with no breaks in between, and you can take it in one of the three ways, that is at a test center, at home or on paper. Currently the paper is not being conducted. So your main ways of giving the TOEFL IBT test would be at a test center or at home, but at home edition also needs to be accepted by the university you are applying for. What makes TOEFL unique? The test uses integrated tasks. That means you will read, listen, and then speak, or you will listen and then write something, just like in a real classroom setting. That's how your test is designed. Now, the test format. To break it down for you, let's quickly go over the structure before we go into the each sections. First, you have reading. Your test will always start with the reading section. Over here, you will get overall 35 minutes and you get two passages with 10 questions each. Then you move to listening with no break in between. You move to listening, and for listening, you will get 36 minutes. Here, you will have three lectures and two conversations. Three lectures will have six questions each, and two conversations will have five questions each. Overall, you get around 28 questions. Speaking. Then you move to the speaking section. Your speaking section is timed around 16 minutes, and overall over here you get four tasks. Your four tasks will be, first one will be independent, and then the rest of three would be integrated tasks. And then last and the foremost skill that you have is the writing section. In writing section you get one integrated writing task and one academic discussion task. Overall, you get 29 minutes for it. To name it, you would get 20 minutes for the first task and 9 minutes, around 9 minutes for the second task. Okay, now the scores that you get over here for each section is 30 points. Reading, you will get, you score between 0 to 30. Listening, you will get between 0 to 30. Then in speaking also 0 to 30, and then writing also you will get 0 to 30. Overall you get scores out of 120 by summing up all the four sections. Now, as you know, the reading section comes first. You will have two academic passages, just the way I told you before, in 35 minutes, and you will have to answer 10 questions per passage. Your passage would be tentatively around 700 words long. Now, what to expect? The passages will be excerpts from university textbooks on topics like history, science, and arts. The types of question that you will get over here would be to analyze the main idea. For example, they would ask you what is the passage about, then they might ask you some details, for example, specific facts which are mentioned in the passage, or you have to make an inference where you would be asked what is implied but not directly stated. Now, some tips for reading passage would be skim before reading, read the instruction and conclusion first. It will give you what the overall passage is about. Try to identify the keywords. Pay attention to dates, names, and transition words. Then use elimination method while solving the questions. If unsure, eliminate incorrect answer choices which you know for sure that it won't be your answer. That's what will help you to come to your answer, the actual answer in the reading passage. Next, after that, we have the listening section. The listening section It will test how well you understand spoken English in an academic setting. You will listen to three two conversations and three lectures over here. Overall, you will get 36 minutes as I told you before, and you will get tentatively 28 questions over here. Now, what to expect? What kind of conversations they will be? They will be informal dialogues between students and professors, or they might be conversations with the people on the campus. Then lectures would be formal discussions about the academic topics. Now, your tip for listening would be take notes. Note down the keywords, note down the main ideas, and note down the tone of the speaker. It's very, very important. Along with that, focus on transition. Words like however, for example, they will indicate the important points. Then practice with academic podcasts. Use your TED Talks from YouTube and university lectures. These are great resources to upskill your learning skills. Your practice question over here would be, if a professor says, while global warming is a major concern, local communities play a crucial role in reducing emissions. What is the main idea? That would be your question. The options are global warming is only a global issue. Local communities can help local communities can help combat climate change. Comment your answers below. Your correct answer would be the option B. Local communities can help combat climate change. That's how your listening would be. Moving to the next part, that is our speaking section, which many students find intimidating. Here, you will complete 4 tasks in 16 minutes. Your first task would be independent task where you have to express your opinion. Next, the task number 2, 3 and 4 will be integrated tasks where you will have to read, listen and then speak based on it. How it works? You will have only 15 to 30 seconds to prepare and 45 to 60 seconds to speak per task. Now, some tips for listening. Some tips for speaking. Here you will use a simple structure of sentences. Your task number 1 should start with something like I believe so and so because, and you will give your examples. For integrated tasks, you will highlight what the reading passage states and what the lecturer states. So it should start something like the reading says, whatever is mentioned, you will mention the topic and you will go on and add. The lecturer adds to it by saying, and you will add whatever the lecturer said over here. Now, another important point over here is practice with a timer. Simulate your test conditions. That's what will help you achieve that task in the given period of time. Very important tip that you need to make sure while you're in the test center, that is, be confident. Fluency matters more than perfect grammar. Grammar, I'm sure you guys have it great, but if you're not confident enough, then you might hamper your grammar as well. Let's practice one question. Send me your responses. You have my WhatsApp number already. Send me your responses and I will tell you whether it sounds great or not. Your question is, do you prefer studying alone or in a group? Why? I'll repeat the question. Do you prefer studying alone or in a group and why? That's your task number 1. Send me your answers in 45 seconds. Okay? Your sample answer should be something like I prefer group study because I can exchange ideas. For example, during exam preparation, I learn new perspectives from my friends. And you will go on and give more examples to it. Finally, let us discuss the writing section. Here, you will complete 2 tasks in 29 minutes. The first one is your integrated task, where you will read, then listen, and then write a response based on it, where you will have overall 19 minutes. Then you have your academic discussion task, wherein you have to participate in a forum style discussion, wherein you will again get 10 minutes. Overall, for these tasks, you have to write, for the first task, you have to write around 150 to 225 words, but just to be safe, try to write at least 250 words, I would say. And for your academic discussion task, you have to write minimum 100 words, but I would say try to write at least 120 to 150 words. Now, how it works. Integrated tasks, you have to summarize the lecture's key points and relate them to the reading passage. Then, for your discussion task, you have to write a short response to an open ended academic discussion. Okay, open ended academic question which has been posed by your professor. Now, some tips for your writing would be use structured templates, but don't for don't copy paste the templates. That is also very, very important. Have your own response ready with you on how you are going to use your wordings. For example, the first task you could start with the reading states, however, the lecturer explains. That's how it could go on. And of course, for your task number two, depending on the question that has been asked, you would modify your answer by saying, I agree with the professor, I agree with the topic, because, and you will go on and give your examples. Keep your sentences simple. Mostly try to use simple present tense. Do not make it complicated. Also, check for your mistakes. Spend some time in proofreading. If you have 20 minutes for the task, make sure you spend at least 5 minutes in proofreading it. If you have 10 minutes for the task, spend 2 minutes in proofreading before submitting it. Along with that, pay attention to your words and pay attention to your timers. Cross check your grammar, cross check your spellings before submitting it and see if it makes sense to you. That's very, very important. And that's about the TOEFL IBT task. Now, let's recap. As I told you, first you have your reading where you have to understand academic text. Next, you have your listening where you have to process the lectures and the conversations. Then, you have speaking where you have to express ideas clearly. Then, you have your writing where you have to organize thoughts effectively. Final tips for success would be take practice tests regularly, focus on your weak areas, reach out to trainers, use TOEFL specific resources, reach out to me for resources. I'll send some links to you. Stay calm and confident on your test day. Now, if you feel you found this video useful, do reach out to me for your test prep and also like and subscribe and comment with any questions that you have. Good luck with your TOEFL journey. I know you will do great.